on Zoom, on YouTube. Okay, there you go. On very nice. Welcome, everybody. Let's get started with the customary lighting of the lamp. Om Kravyadam Agnin Pranomidurum Yamarajam Gachatu Ripravaha. So here's the lamp that's been lit. We'll offer our customary prayer. Om Gyanam Himirandhasya Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Translation: I was born in the darks of ignorance, and by the sweetest graces of my spiritual master, my darkened eyes were opened with the salve of love in the form of transcendental knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances, gratitude, and homage unto him. Hare Krishna. Welcome, Mother Chandana.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. We just started, so we lit the lamp, offered the prayer, and now we'll get started. And again, for those who are watching this video on YouTube, after this video is uploaded, in the previous programs, particularly the first three, we spoke about what chanting is, why we light the lamp, why we offer the prayer, what the prayer says, what do the words mean, how significant they are, and how important they are, like that. So please go to those three videos that started. First one started on July the 23rd. And there you will see we have three documents that we share. And I'm going to share them one by one just so that you can, for those of you who are seeing this for the first time, you can actually freeze the video so you can watch the document, read the whole document. So on that document, you see three mantras. The first mantra says Gaura Nityananda. And so we chant on beads. This is a bead bag here, and here are beads that we chant on. So there are 108 beads in one, we call it mala. Mala means one necklace, you might say, that's been strung together, like that. One set of beads that have been strung together. And so that first mantra, Gaura Nityananda, is the mantra that we chant first. And how we chant that is on the first bead, always on the first bead, we chant the middle mantra, which says Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhara, Shivas, Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. That's this one here. So, I don't know if I can highlight. Yeah, there you go, I can highlight it. So that one there is the middle mantra. That's the mantra we chant on the first bead. And then on the first bead, we chant that mantra Gaura Nityananda, which is this one here. And we chant the same on the next bead, the next bead, the next bead, all the 108 beads. This gives us amazing amount of success if we do that in terms of why we chant the holy names and what the power of the holy names is. And I'm going to speak a little more about that today also. So once we've finished one round of Gaura Nityananda like that, chanting Gaura Nityananda on 108 beads, what we do is then we chant the next mantra, the third mantra on that sheet that says, on that document that says, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that mantra, again, we do the same thing. The first mantra we chant on the bead is again Sri Krishna Chaitanya, like that. And then the first bead after that, on the first bead again, we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It's called the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That says Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then we repeat that on each bead, each of the next 107 beads for a total of 108 beats. That's one round of chanting. And then we go back and chant one more round of Gaura Nityananda. That's a complete set. For those of us who are initiated, who are going deeper into this process, we take vows and of chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna a day, which means one round each of Gaura Nityananda, that's 2, and then 16, 18 rounds altogether. 16 of them are Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Some chant more than 16. I've heard people chant all the way to more than 100, way above 100, like that. Let's put it this way. You don't have to do that. The idea is just chant that first set of 3 and then grow to chanting more of that third mantra as you feel inspired. And try to get to 16 if you can. That's the idea behind it. Okay, then I share the second document, which talks about what are the compelling outcomes, benefits, and emotional triumphs of chanting the holy name. There on that document, you can see it starts in English by saying, of course, the title is 7 Flames of the Holy Name. The 7 flames are the ones that give 7 mega. Mega means beyond major. Number of majors coming together is a mega. 7 mega covets, which are called compelling outcomes, benefits, and emotional triumphs, like that. And those are listed there, 1 through 7, you can see. I'm going to move this little thing over so it doesn't stop you from reading. Okay, so again, freeze the document, read that, and go back to the videos where I describe each of them in detail. So the first 3 videos, pretty much, we describe why we light the lamp, why we chant the prayer, why we speak the prayer, the opening prayer, and how we chant the mantras. I repeated that 3 times when in depth so that we can all understand how to do that. The recordings after that talk about first the 7 flames of the holy name. We did that over 8 or 9 recordings. Then we did the third document, and I'm going to share that document right now. The third document is called the 10 offenses to be avoided while chanting the holy names of the Lord. So there we can see it says that official name, the 10 offenses to the holy name, meaning to be avoided while chanting the holy name. And so it starts by saying, number 1, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord, like that. And all 10 of them I explained in detail in a number of recordings. So you can see those as well. And then the last recording we did was talking about a subject matter relating to the chanting that is very important, which talks about the way it protects us and shelters us, like that. Today, I'm going to talk about something that is way beyond important to know. This is something that holds people back big time in their lives. Every person deserves the very best. Now, let's say everybody knows that. Every person deserves the very best. Of course, based on their activities, based on what they do, there are going to be consequences on the way to the best. Just like, say, for example, if the purpose of life was to become a brain surgeon, on the way to study all the way from pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, elementary school, all the way up to studying brain surgery, in that path of progress, people can make some bad decisions, some wrong turns, and then face those consequences. But the idea is to end up with becoming a person who is qualified, certified to be a brain surgeon. Let's put it that way. So the purpose of life, for everyone's life, the only purpose of life, is to rekindle our loving relationship with God. That is the ultimate purpose. Now, what holds us back big time is that many of us, at least internally, if not externally, internally think, but I'm not of significance. What is my significance? I'm not a significant person. Who cares about me? When I die, aside from maybe a few people who might remember me, nobody will even know that this person died. So where's my significance? I don't have any significance. And so what that does is now we start behaving in ways that are less significant. Naturally, if I think I'm not significant, I'll start acting in that way. I'll start doing things that way. I'll start thinking in that way. I'll start feeling in that way. I'll start willing in that way. Then I will also do things in that way. Thinking, feeling, willing, doing. Between the willing and the doing, there might be some planning as well. Sometimes they have the word planning in there. Thinking, feeling, willing, planning, doing. Like that. But essentially it's the four: thinking, feeling, willing, doing. So the best help any one of us can give others is to encourage them so that they know they are very significant. Now, everyone's significant. Why is everyone significant? Everyone is significant because everyone is a child of God. And God is the greatest. If you are the child of the greatest, naturally you're significant. Just look around. Think of people who are very significant today. President of the United States of America, wealthy people, famous people, right? We heard that Dolly Parton left her body, right? She's considered a very significant person, 80 years of age, and she expired today, right? She left the world today. Okay, I don't know if she had any family, she had any child, but that child, while Dolly was on the planet, and even now, would be considered a very significant child. Take any famous person, any rich person, any very beautiful person, any very powerful person, any very knowledgeable person, any very strong person, any renounced person like some great religious leader. Their child, their son or daughter, would be considered very significant. There is nobody who can claim significance more than God. No one can claim significance higher than God. And if you are the child of the greatest, most significant person, you are significant. Now, that is generic for everybody. Everybody is very significant. Now, what is your significance becomes the next question. Now, what is my significance? Since I'm very significant, what is my significance? And how do I come to know my significance and live according to my significance? These become very important questions. So what is your significance? I've already said about one thing. You're a child of God. Naturally, you're very significant. Also, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Suridam Sarva Bhutanam, meaning that I am the greatest benefactor, the greatest lover of all living entities. So you're very beloved to God. Everyone is very beloved to God. So beloved, you cannot even imagine. You cannot imagine. And you can imagine for 5 billion lifetimes and you still won't be able to imagine more than a very, very tiny fraction of what that means, that God loves you completely and God loves you exclusively. How is it exclusive? There's one God, so many people. Fact is, in the spiritual world, God multiplies himself as many times as every person and gives that person quality time 24/7. Quality time 24/7. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And that's not just in the spiritual, here also. That's how much the Lord loves us. He also says, Mame Vangsha Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, which means that we're part and parcel of his estate. If a person is very rich, let's just take Warren Buffett as a good example. Say if his estate is worth $500 billion and you're the only child. And he says, you are part of my estate to the child. That child is going to be rolling in money, right? That person might drown in money. Get the point? Now, you can't compare Warren Buffett to God. God is way greater. Way greater. You cannot even put a number. That's how great he is. There is no limit to how great he is. And you're part of his estate. Everyone is part of his estate. Well, there's so many parts of the estate, they all divide the estate. It doesn't work like that in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, no matter how many people partake of an estate, they all still have the full thing. That doesn't happen in the material world. In the material world, if a person has $500 billion and he has 5 kids, each of them gets $100 billion. Assuming everybody gets the equal amount. Doesn't always happen that way, but at least let's put it that 500 is divvied up amongst the beneficiaries, however number of beneficiaries there are, in whatever portions and proportions. In the spiritual world, everything is absolute. Here, everything is relative. Therefore, if you have 10 apples and you gave away 5, you're left with 5. In the spiritual world, if you have 10 apples and you gave away 5, you still have 10. That's called absolute math. Here we have relative math, worldly math, which is considered pretty much junk compared to the spiritual world, when compared to the spiritual world. So, and then we all have a relationship of service. Service means to express love. In the spiritual context, service means to express love. In the material context, service means work. It means run away if you can. Get out of there if you can. I was speaking to a person who's very successful, and he works for a very, very large company, and is very close to the top person in the company. And one of them passed away, and now the top person is another person. And all of them, after they become the top person, seem to get some type of a cancer, because the stress is so high at that level of work. Not so in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, you have unlimited energy. In fact, the more service you do, the more powerful you become. It's just like here, sometimes the more you eat, the happier you feel, the more powerful you feel. Like that. To a limit. There's no limit. You can eat the whole planet worth of apples and still be hungry. Can't even imagine what that means, by the way. And I know I'm blowing some of you out of the water when I say that. But please understand, what I'm speaking is the truth. So today I'm going to share another verse. And in that verse from Scripture, the best of all Scripture called Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a statement that is made. First, let me bring up that verse. And so let me share it. Now you see the verse. It's a story of a great emperor, a very great emperor, who was the emperor over many planetary systems, by the way. His name was Swayambhuva Manu. That's the name there. And his father is Lord Brahma, who is the creator of the whole creation. So he says, with the assistance of Lord Brahma, Swayambhuva Manu thus fulfilled his desire. What was his desire? With the permission of the great sage Narada, who became his guru, he delivered to his son the governmental responsibility for maintaining and protecting all the planets of the universe. His son's name was Priyavrata. If it shows up here. Yeah, it shows up here. The activities of Maharaj Priyavrata. Again, you're watching this on YouTube. You can freeze the document at various places and read what it says. It says, by doing that, by giving up the governmental responsibility for maintaining and protecting all the planets of the universe. I'm just maintaining and protecting one country is so hard, right? They say the President of the United States of America ages 4 times faster than an average person. Because of so much stress that he has to carry. But this person was carrying the responsibility, governmental responsibility for maintaining and protecting all the planets of the universe. Forget one country in one planet. One very small planet, by the way. First planet is a very small planet. We know the sizes of the other planets, so we are minuscule. We're not talking about the planets that we know generally in material science. Material science is a very, very poor science. It's not complete science. It then says, he thus achieved relief from the most dangerous, poisonous ocean of material desires. When you become the leader of all planets in the universe, that's considered most dangerous, poisonous ocean of material desires. So you can imagine, all of us we have a smaller ocean, a smaller poisonous ocean of material desires that we're dealing with. So in this verse, there's a part that I wanted to come to. And it says here, material affairs have herein been compared to an ocean of poison. They've been described in a similar way by Srila Narottam Das Thakur in one of his songs, Sansara Vishanale, Diva Nishihiya Jale, Juraite na koinu upaya. Translation in English, my heart is always burning in the fire of material existence, and I have made no provisions for getting out of it, getting out of that fire. Then he says, Golokera Premadhana, Harinam Sankirtan, Ratina Janmile Kene Tai. Quote, the only remedy is Harinam Sankirtan, chanting of the holy names of God, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is imported from the spiritual world Goloka Vrindavan, the original planet from which everyone and everything comes. How fortunate I am that I have no attraction for this. Manu wanted to seek shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, and therefore when his son Priyavrata took charge of his worldly affairs, Manu was very relieved. That is the system of Vedic civilization, of Aryan civilization. At the end of life, one must free himself from worldly affairs and completely engage in the service of the Lord and, of course, the Lord's creation. That is what I wanted to talk about today. How do you gain your significance back? You gain your significance back by the process of proximity. What does the process of proximity say? The process of proximity say you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. Now, that's 5 people. If you surround yourself with the Lord and the Lord's associates, your proximity is gone way beyond the roof, way through the roof, way through the sky, I would say, way through the top part of the sky, the roof of the sky. You'll pierce the roof of the sky when you start engaging in the service of the Lord genuinely, not just imagination, made up God, made up religion, not like that. True religion, true God. That's what happens. So we've been talking about chanting the holy names of the Lord. This is how important the holy names of the Lord are. This is how important chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is. That one must come to the point in life where one frees oneself from worldly affairs and completely engages in the service of the Lord. We can start doing this internally. If you do it internally, that's really great. Externally, you have to deal with the world because of whatever situation you're in, you find yourself in. Whatever practical time, place, circumstance, and association you find yourself in, you have to deal with it. That's externally. Internally, you can be totally with the Lord and serving the Lord, seeing everything in connection to the Lord and doing things like that. So again, for those of you who are on YouTube, and by the way, every one of us who is now, on watching on Zoom should actually sign up on YouTube. Please do that. It helps when more people join us on YouTube. Others become encouraged to do the same. And if you encourage others to do the same, you get the value of their progress that they make. The progress that they make, you get that value. So going back to speaking about significance. When you chant Hare Krishna, when you chant the holy name of the Lord, your significance will become manifest. It is there. It's just in unmanifest form. It's just like when I strike the match, the flame comes out, the fire comes out of the match. So the striking process, or in the case of milk, you churn the milk, the cream comes up. Or if you whet a blade, then it becomes sharp and you can cut nicely with it. So whetting the blade, churning the milk, striking the match, these are processes of manifestation. So we can manifest our significance by chanting the holy name of Krishna, by chanting the holy names of God, by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So this is what I wanted to speak about today. We can help a lot of people in this world. And I've seen many people suffer from feeling that they were never allowed to manifest their significance. That somehow society did things in a certain way where they couldn't truly manifest their potential. And that's very sad. That's very sad. Chanting of the holy name makes you unstoppable. Your significance will manifest. That is Krishna's promise in the Bhagavad Gita. Kante tu pratijanihi name bhaktaha pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly to the world, my devotee is never vanquished. My devotee never fails. So this is the process for us. And I thought I should say that today, just so that you have friends, you have family, and you can see many of those friends and family and associates have this feeling of lack of significance, lack of recognition. Recognition and significance are two different things. Significance means that you have massive value and you're able to manifest that massive value. Recognition means somebody else recognizes that you're doing that. But whether you have recognition or not is not important. Whether you have significance or not is very important. So again, as I said, we speak for 30 minutes. So this session's gone for 30 minutes and we just gone at 8:31 now. I'm going to ask if any of you would like to ask any question or say something. Please unmute and I'd be very happy to have you speak. Anybody at all? Looks like you're all pondering what I said. And,
yes, Prabhu. Yes.
right, and it is important to really consider what I said deeply and understand that each and every one of you is very important, most important. Let's make it happen. And let's make it a song and dance, like we say. The dance of life, the dance of love, the song of life, the song of love. And feast along the way as well. Keep our bellies happy and our bodies strong. All right, thank you all very much. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock. I will speak about the next topic related to the holy name. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you.